which is very dangerous, where the countries are kind of now really calling out for strong leadership. And the last time this happened, we ended up with leaders like Hitler.
People's feelings are not being addressed. There is something that is really bubbling under the surface across the whole of Europe right now.
France has fallen. Protests sweep across the nation after a teenage boy was shot dead by police. The killing sparking outrage across the country. But how did France get here? And how will President Macron restore order?
There is causing a growing dissatisfaction. These feelings have been building up over time, and they haven't had the chance to be fully expressed until now.
This is the start of something very serious, I think.
In this video, we're going to be sharing psychic predictions about the potential breakup of Europe from the modern-day Nostradamus, Craig Hamilton Parker. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe and leave a comment below with your thoughts. Craig Hamilton Parker, dubbed the new Nostradamus, is a psychic medium based in England who claims he can see into the future. He correctly predicted the pandemic, Brexit, Donald Trump becoming president, and even the death of Queen Elizabeth.
Where I talk about the world in general through the eyes of a psychic medium and with a spiritual view of things. And
most recently, Craig saw a vision of King Charles being hit by eggs, which came true weeks later. He has been releasing predictions on his YouTube channel about the fall of Europe for a number of years now. So in this video, we will be sharing his top 3 shocking predictions about the fall of Europe. France is currently facing widespread protests and civil unrest following the tragic killing of a young individual by a police officer. The situation has escalated to the point where the French special forces have been deployed, and police officers and armored vehicles have been strategically placed throughout the country. Numerous arrests have already been made as riots continue to erupt in the cities of Marseille and Lyon, resulting in looting of gun stores, multiple fires being set, and the targeting of high-end stores and shopping malls. The outrage over the situation has also spread. Riots started in the capital of Belgium, Brussels. The Belgian police have reported that they arrested 64 individuals, including one youth who is accused of assaulting a police officer. Similar to France, Belgian cities have a significant Muslim population with connections to former European colonies in Africa and the Middle East. These residents often express their grievances about experiencing discrimination, unemployment, and a lack of opportunities. Recent events in France have exacerbated racial and religious tensions in Europe. This occurs at a time when there is growing hostility towards migrants seeking refuge in the EU and a rise in anti-Muslim sentiment across many European nations. Additionally, far-right political parties have emerged advocating for strict immigration policies, mainly targeting individuals from Muslim countries. The current unrest coincides with an economic downturn in the EU, further strained by the pandemic and the ongoing war in Ukraine. The combination of soaring prices, a slowdown in industrial output, budget constraints, and the onset of a recession in Germany, the economic powerhouse of the EU, creates a potentially volatile situation. Why is this happening? Millions of people who have immigrated to France are finding themselves in ghettos and realizing their new country is not the promised land they envisioned. They are frustrated that they are not receiving the houses, jobs, and luxurious lives they believed they would have. Many young people are feeling disappointed because they are not getting the opportunities they expected. This frustration builds up and leads to fervent anger. It is important to note that this statement does not imply any negative judgment towards these individuals, but rather highlights the current situation with the influx of people coming to Europe. So what are the upcoming predictions made by Craig Hamilton Parker? Prediction 1. More upcoming riots in more European countries.
That this is just the start, because unfortunately these riots in France are going to spread. I've said it already, and I feel it still very strongly in my bones, as it were, that we're going to get riots in the most unexpected places. For example, Sweden. We're going to see riots in Berlin. We're probably going to see riots in Barcelona, somewhere in Spain, I feel as well. There's going to be riots that are all going to be kind of melded in with this. It's going to be all over Europe, Hungary too. There's going to be all sorts of public unrest.
Prediction 2. The rise of right-wing leadership.
There's a major resentment bubbling underneath. This is the start of something very serious, I think. And the last time this happened, we ended up with leaders like Hitler, didn't we? We ended up with leaders like Mussolini, with Franco and Stalin even, but less so. But, you know, already we have sort of movements more towards what people would in the past call the right. In Italy, we're seeing a move to more right type of thinking. And out of all this, we're going to see a beginning of new governments, much more right-wing governments, such as Le Pen in France. I've always said that I feel that she would eventually become the president of France. And this is going to have quite a lot of effect upon the rest of Europe. People like Macron, for example, who I think will fall quite soon. He's coming in as a sort of a kind of reaction to much of the kind of wishy-washy politics that we've had. We have it here in the UK. The countries are kind of now really calling out for strong leadership.
Prediction 3. European countries breaking up into different federations. Craig Hamilton Parker has been saying for years that he is seeing the potential breakup of Europe into different federations, such as a German federation and a French federation, as well as smaller groups of countries. Despite this division, these entities are expected to collaborate and avoid conflicts. However, he doesn't foresee an increase in independent legislation being implemented. So what are your thoughts on the predictions made about Europe by Craig Hamilton Parker? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more psychic predictions.